If there is one thing Donald Trump excels at, it's taking a bad situation and somehow making it even worse. That's exactly what happened when he chose to attack his own supporters in Michigan. These are people already suffering because of his disastrous economic policies who showed up to hear him brag about fake economic achievements only for him to insult them directly. It was a complete meltdown, made even worse by what he was caught saying on a hot mic beforehand. We're going to break it all down, but first, please don't forget to leave a like on this video, and if you enjoy our content, hit that subscribe button because it really helps support what we do. Today, Trump was in Michigan for two reasons: to unleash a bizarre rant on his own audience and to tour a Ford plant. And before his chaotic speech even began, right outside the venue, he said this about Tom Tillis and Jerome Powell.
Have a lot of rare earth and raw materials.
Senator Tom Tillis says that the subpoena, the grand jury subpoena to the Federal Reserve Chairman was a little excessive. What do you think about that?
Well, that's why Tom's not going to be a senator any longer, I guess, right?
Well, what do you think?
But I like Tom Tillis. He's a nice guy. But look, he's not going to be a senator any longer because of views like that. We have a bad Fed chairman. He's bad in a lot of different ways, but he's bad because his interest rates were too high. And today we had a great inflation report, and today we had a really great growth report. So we have great growth and low inflation, and we're doing very well.
Yes. Tom Tillis supposedly won't be a senator anymore, and Trump is bragging that he'll be replaced by Roy Cooper. Great job, Donald. You basically helped flip a Senate seat in North Carolina. Congratulations. Is that really something he thinks is a victory? And then, of course, Trump immediately backtracks into, well, I really like Tom. He's a great guy, and he likes me. No, he doesn't. He's made it pretty clear lately that he really doesn't like Trump, but instead of acknowledging that, Trump's reaction is to double down and brag about going after his political enemies. When asked if his persecution of Jerome Powell has gone too far, he simply says no, and then threatens senators, saying he'll make sure they don't get elected again if they speak out against him. Like, yeah, we already know this is who he is. He's been telling us for years. What was especially obvious today, though, is that something was seriously off with Trump. Whether he was angry, unstable, or just completely out of it, he delivered a furious, rambling speech that, as always, began and ended with him obsessively talking about himself.
All across the country endorsed that vision in a landslide victory. We won everything. We won all 7 swing states. We won the Electoral College 312 to 226. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of... Oh, it's so nice to win the popular vote. I won the popular vote all 3 times too, but we're not going to get into that. But the first time they said I didn't win the popular vote, but I won the Electoral College. So they always said, while he didn't win, this is the way I got introduced every time. While he didn't win the popular vote, he won the Electoral College, you know. So this is the way I was introduced for 4 years. And guess what? We said, I'm going back, we're going to win and we won the popular vote by a lot. So they can't say that crap anymore. And the thing that was most impressive, we won 86% of all counties in America, 2,700 to 525. Think of that, 2,700 to 525, and that's...
Yes, Donald, all 3 times you supposedly won the popular vote, including the first time when you actually lost it by 3 million votes, and the second time when you lost it by nearly 7 million. But sure, you won every time. Of course. The theme of his speech today, as expected whenever Donald Trump starts bragging about his so-called economic success, was nothing but fake numbers. Before he even began attacking his own audience, he launched straight into fantasy statistics. It was pure fake number hour. And we saw that again when he started hyping one of the biggest scams of his entire administration, something even Marjorie Taylor Greene herself called a scam, his foreign policy, which he highlighted in this moment right here.
In 4 years of Biden, they secured less than $1 trillion of new investment in the United States. So 4 years, less than $1 trillion. In less than 1 year, I have secured commitments for over $18 trillion from all over the world, the most ever for any country.
Okay, so on this so-called foreign investment supposedly coming in because of tariff deals that don't even exist, it's ridiculous. It honestly just reminds me every time of that moment when Donald Trump was in the White House surrounded by his billionaire tech buddies. These are the same people he and conservatives constantly rant about, the so-called elites. The ones silencing people or supposedly putting microchips in you like Bill Gates. And then there's Mark Zuckerberg, who conservatives call a lizard or some nonsense. But Trump had him sitting right there in the White House. Trump gets Zuckerberg to say he's making some massive $800 billion investment. Meta is doing it, right? And Zuckerberg's like, yeah, sure. Then he gets caught on a hot mic later saying they're not doing that at all. It was totally made up. Trump was just throwing out fake numbers again. There's nothing real or meaningful behind it. It's all just fabricated nonsense meant to please supporters who can't even properly cheer him on because he keeps insulting them.
There's never been, we're not 12 months, we're through 11 months. We've got $18 trillion being invested in our country. The most of any country ever was 3. We're at 18. There's never been anything like this. You are so lucky I allow you into this room to even be with me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The fake news will say Donald Trump thinks he's hot stuff. Right now I'm feeling pretty good, though, I will say. Oh, you're so lucky to be here.
Trump does this constantly. He'll say something outrageous and then immediately backpedal like, well, I didn't really mean that, and then complain that the media will quote him. He literally says things like, I don't like you, you're lucky to even be here, and you're basically trash, and then claims the media will take it out of context. What context? He is openly attacking his own supporters. This has been true about Donald Trump for a very long time, and if you're MAGA, this is just one more example of how you're voting against your own interests. These people genuinely look down on you. Trump thinks you're stupid. Why else do you think he has taken billions in campaign money to fund his personal lifestyle? The grifting, the merchandise, the Bibles, the shoes, all of it. He doesn't just think you're foolish, he thinks you're completely dumb, and he insults you constantly. The funniest part is that while Trump thinks his supporters are stupid, he himself is hardly a genius. Just listen to him on the hot mic here.
Tell me about something. I'd say that's no good. That's no good.
Yeah.
Well, we brought trucks back now. Do you do trucks in this factory or a different factory?
Well, we do the F-150 here, and then
But those are the mid-size,
the
and
bigger ones.
When do you do the big ones?
Well, we do them in Louisville.
Are they very big ones or big?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, they're
big one all the way to 650.
Yeah, they're not.
250 to 650.
You saw an F-450 at
I thought
Mar-a-Lago
it was
with your face on
The
it,
double
right?
wheels.
Yeah,
We-
exactly.
Donald Trump, in all his supposed genius, watches trucks being assembled right in front of him and still asks if they make trucks there. He gushes, "We love trucks. Are they big trucks? The big ones? Where are the trucks? Are those trucks? What are trucks?" He sounds absolutely ridiculous. You're standing in an automotive plant. What do you think they're building? Grapefruits. How is this man in charge of anything? He is unbelievably, almost cartoonishly stupid. This is a man insulting his own supporters for not being at his level, while he's literally inventing fake economic data in front of them. And this matters. Because remember when I said recently that Susie Wiles sent Trump out to brag about supposed economic success to distract from the chaos inside the White House after that big Vanity Fair story? And remember how that plan fell apart because Trump himself is a liability. This is exactly what I meant. But he clearly knows the economy is his biggest political vulnerability right now, which is why he went on that wild tirade against Jerome Powell.
And if we don't raise interest rates every time good news is mentioned, in the old days, I'm probably old. I used to be up at these lecterns and I'd say, I'm younger than pretty much everybody in the room. Now I say I'm older than pretty much everybody in the room. I like it the other way better, actually. But you're too young. But in the old days, when you had good numbers, interest rates would go down. When you had good numbers, the market would go through the roof. That's the way we're going to make it again. That's the old-fashioned way. That's the right way. Today, if you announce great numbers, they raise interest rates to try and kill it. So you can never really have the kind of rally you should have. What happens and what we want, we're going to have a lot of great months, a lot of great quarters. I want the market to go up. You announce unbelievable numbers and the market goes down because they know you're going to do everything possible. In the Fed, we have a real stiff in the Fed, but that's for another day.
Yeah, exactly. If you keep attacking the very person you're pretending you aren't targeting for political reasons, it doesn't really help your case that this isn't political. It's such a blatantly phony situation. The original scandal that Anna Paulina Luna pushed was that Jerome Powell supposedly misspoke about some infrastructure work from 1999 to 2003. That's it. He didn't secretly build himself a private luxury spa in his office. He didn't install bathtubs and massage tables. He's not Pete Hegseth building his own makeup studio. It's absurd. Sometimes I genuinely run out of words for how ridiculous this is. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has plenty of words, all of them terrible, and things only went downhill from there. The crowd grew quieter, more confused, and completely unsure of what they were even witnessing. And then Trump started rambling about Minnesota.
All over the world, the most ever for any country. Think of that, though. They did, and I'll tell you what, had she won, it would be a disaster because you would have had people leave. You would have not had 1 trillion, you would have had 5 trillion, 10 trillion leaving the country, and your welfare would have doubled. When you look at what's going on in Minnesota, is that a disgrace? Is that a disgrace? But we'll talk about that. Under Biden, we had the highest trade deficit ever recorded, losing more than $1 trillion every single year. How about that? It was killing Michigan, and everywhere else in our country was being absolutely destroyed. But in a matter of months, largely because of tariff income and the election result, we've slashed that gaping trade deficit by, in a short period of time, 62, it just came out, 62%. People are stunned. The fake news back there, look at those cameras rocking and rolling.
Once again, it's pure hypocrisy. Pot, meet kettle. You are the most clueless president we've ever had, yet you're ranting about fraud in Minnesota while you and your inner circle are siphoning off billions through crypto schemes, corrupt government dealings, and shady defense contracts benefiting your family. Donald Trump is the biggest con artist in American political history, and we should treat him that way every single day. Everything he says is projection, layered with the usual racism, because of course it is. And honestly, it isn't even landing anymore. The crowd clearly doesn't care. You can literally hear them losing interest, zoning out, practically falling asleep as Trump drones on about tariffs.
Every prediction the critics made about our tariff policy has failed to materialize. The evidence shows overwhelmingly that the tariffs are not paid by American consumers, that they're paid by foreign nations and middlemen. And Scott went over that with us before, and they're paid by middlemen. They raise the thing. Countries get involved. They pay them because otherwise they won't have companies. They won't be viable. And we're the big beneficiary. Once again, the so-called experts were 100% wrong, and Trump was right. People of Michigan were 100% right. You elected the right guy. If you had the other person, everybody, we wouldn't even be having a meeting today, probably. There'd be no meeting.
He can't form a real economic message, so they'll keep dragging him out on the road, and we'll keep laughing at him. But it's not going to fix anything. That's why Democrats need to stay bold and aggressive. Our message should be about populist appeal and universality. We don't need watered-down, tiny, means-tested policies that only help a sliver of people. We should think big and help everyone. Trump, meanwhile, is doing the exact opposite. His entire agenda serves a handful of billionaires while leaving everyone else behind. Our party should stand for the people, not the ultra-rich. And we'll keep talking about that here. If you want to support the show, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and drop a blue heart in the comments if you stayed with us to the end. And until next time, I will see you soon.